TV shows. You didn't call them TV shows anymore?
What do you call them?
Streaming for your television? Yeah, I guess TV shows.
Welcome back to HM and Big E. We are doing another of our year-end roundups.
Yeah.
A little bit late, but our year-end roundup today, we are talking about our top 5 TV shows.
TV shows
that we watched in 2022.
Top 5. See, there it is. Okay.
You are more. I think you probably watch more shows than I do. Between my board games and video games, which are other lists that we may or may not get into, I don't watch too many TV shows. I watch more movies, but I did manage to find 5 that I wanted to highlight. How was 2022 as a year for TV?
I think it was a very strong year for TV. I watched a lot of shows, more than movies, to be honest.
Yeah.
Maybe that was a lot of pandemic stuff. I remember binge watching one show because I got COVID one weekend, and I couldn't go anywhere. So I think TV shows were definitely.
Is that show on your list? I know what show you're talking
yes,
about.
it was. It's on my list.
Okay.
But I have 6 honorable mentions. That's
wow.
I probably could add 2 more. Yeah, so I could blow through those quickly.
Okay.
But are there any you think that will be crossover for a top 5?
Yes, I think there may be 2.
Okay, wow, I think 1, but okay.
Okay, so just like our movies, I have dishonorable mentions, so I'll kind of go through that first.
I need to have dishonorable mentions.
There's just 2.
Okay.
There are 2 super high profile.
All right.
You kind of know exactly what I'm going to talk about.
Okay.
It's Halo and it's Rings of Power.
Okay.
Both of which were very highly anticipated TV shows. Billions of dollars thrown at it.
Halos.
And both missed so badly in terms of just capturing the essences of those franchises, the feel, it just wasn't interesting television, even at its basic level.
Yes.
So I did not like either of those shows.
Okay, if you're going to go with dishonorable mentions, you're not going to like this, but Moon Knight takes it from me, okay? Dishonorable mention. Really did not like this show, not like the character. What a waste of a great actor and a great cast. But Rings of Power...
That's not on my top 5.
Halo is definitely... Halo is a very, very bad show.
Yeah. Okay, so you have a long list of honorable mentions. Go for it.
I'll go through real quick. The English with Emily Blunt, Amazon Prime, Western.
I love Emily Blunt.
Well, it's a Western.
Okay, I don't like Westerns as much. Yeah.
6 episodes. She does a really fantastic job of acting, and I wouldn't. What it is the most epic story? No, but it's a short little story that I think is good. It's a Western.
Okay.
We're going.
Give me a 1-sentence premise of the English. 1 sentence.
A woman travels to the west from England and tries to discover why her son was killed.
Excellent. Good. Western mystery.
At least it's like mystery.
Okay. Next.
Kind of thing. Strange New Worlds.
Okay. Yeah, that's on my honorable mention too. That's my only honorable mention.
Oh, that's it.
Well,
I think this is after a string of just non-compelling Star Trek shows. This is the first one that felt like Star Trek.
It did. Anson Mount was great. The entire cast was pretty good. They were just telling good sci-fi stories again.
Right.
I agree.
So,
next.
I just finished this one. Just the last episode released. Echo 3 on Apple Plus. It is, and another 1 sentence would be, a brother and the brother and the husband of a woman is trying to free her from capture.
Okay.
And it's a more like a realistic take on what it would really look like to free someone who's been captured. Now they are both
like set in modern times.
Yeah,
it's
they're
not
both Delta Force operatives.
Okay. What is Delta Force?
It's their military.
Okay.
You know, they're like Navy SEAL type of people.
Okay.
But obviously they're trying to take it. They're trying not to be the next Taken, where they go guns blazing.
Yes,
they got to go through diplomacy.
Any notable actors or actresses?
Not really. I guess the big star would be Luke. Wilson guy.
Luke Evans.
Luke Evans. That's right. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, that one's called
Echo 3, Apple Plus.
Okay. Next.
Reacher, season 1.
Okay. Yeah, the one with the giant guy.
Giant guy. Well, Tom Cruise played him.
Yes, not so giant, but in this one,
he's actually like 6'4".
Yeah,
he's huge, 280 pounds. Yeah. Good movie, good little solid mystery action show.
You like a lot of mystery.
I do.
I do. Mystery.
Yeah.
Okay.
Peacemaker, season 1.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, it didn't even make my honorable mention. Okay. I enjoyed it. Didn't make it.
Yeah, it's that satirical, funny comedy with John Cena.
Yeah.
And Severance, season 1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So Severance on Apple, we actually put a review up. Honourable mention. It's a mystery.
Well, why don't you go this time?
Sure.
You go first.
I will go. My number 5. Part of the reason why I like doing some of these lists is it might highlight some stuff that hopefully you haven't seen, or we can kind of talk about it with each other. But number 5 is Our Flag Means Death, an HBO kind of miniseries produced and directed by, or I think produced anyway, by Taika Waititi.
Yes, you love him.
I do love him.
Something about his humor works for you.
Yeah, it's just right. I mean, Jojo Rabbit is one of my favorite movies of all time, as well. The Thors obviously were great. I haven't seen his other one. Not What We Do in the Shadows, which I thought was excellent. Wilder People, Hunt for the Wilder People. Anyway, so Our Flag Means Death is a historical fiction black comedy about a gentleman pirate. So he's terrible, but then he meets and falls in love with Blackbeard, played by Taika Waititi as Blackbeard. It's just funny. I think it's funny, and I think it does kind of character really, really well. It's kind of like a romance by the end of it, and as a romance, it's done quite well. It hits a lot of those romance tropes and stuff. But Our Flag Means Death.
You're definitely more of a comedy guy than I am.
Definitely.
TV shows, yeah.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound too appealing to me. But,
No, I'm more of that comedy. You're like a comedy western is where we divide really, really heavily. Okay, your number 5
is Alice in Borderlands.
What is that?
It's based off a manga. It's you can think of it as I would say a more fantastical Japanese Squid Game.
Okay, anime though?
No, it's
okay.
live action. It's based on a manga though, so it's in book form. But it's in season 2. It finished its season 2, and it's a show about a mysterious game that people have to play in order to survive, and they're trying to figure out the whole time not just how to play the game, but who's behind the game and why they're in this game. So it's a good show.
Those 2 points are the worst parts of Squid Game. Who was behind it and why they were doing it were the worst, least interesting parts of Squid Game.
I actually like it more than Squid Game. I think it's told better. I think the whole premise is better, but it doesn't get the traction that Squid Game got. Sure, we'll see.
Yeah,
but I like this series a lot.
My number 4 is a show that I'm guessing you haven't seen, and again, it skews more on that comedy side. It's a British panel show, essentially, called Taskmaster.
I've heard of it.
Taskmaster, they're on season 14. There have been kind of global interpretations of this show that they've kind of franchised off. Basically, they get 5 comedians.
Right.
And so, I mean, British comedians, they're generally pretty funny people, but it's 5 funny people, and each episode, they show clips of them doing rather ridiculous tasks, and it's who can do it better, earn more points, and that kind of stuff. It's kind of like a game show, but it's with funny people, and this is such a creative show, the tasks that they have them do, and I think it's just the host and his assistant are both very, very funny, and all the comedians.
Now, you're talking about 2022. Is this, you're saying season 14 is amazing, or the whole show?
The whole show is amazing. Season 14 was quite strong.
Okay.
Not the best of the series, but it's up there in the top half. Season 14 of Taskmaster. It's actually, I think most of their seasons are now fully on YouTube, so that's actually a really easy way to check it out.
Okay, cool.
Number 4.
Yellowstone.
Yes.
Season 4.
Another Western.
Yeah, and obviously I did not know this. I've heard about this show for a long time. People said you should watch a show. Not a lot of people, but those who have seen it told me about it. And
sorry, who's it star?
Kevin Costner.
Kevin Costner, right.
It's a Western, and it has elements of like House of Dragon in terms of trying to get power, trying to protect what's yours.
Right.
So it's got drama, it's a little bit of comedy, but at its heart, it's just a Western story about a family. Right. And so it's I did not know this. Again, it was like number 1 show in America. It really does appeal to quite a bit of people. But Yellowstone.
Yeah. This is when you first told me about this, I got this confused with that one show that you were talking about, that Western with like the big hole or
that's with I
don't know if that's later on your
list.
No,
that's different.
Okay.
That's different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, Yellowstone on Amazon Video. My number 3, another HBO, House of the Dragon, as you just mentioned. We both watched this. We both talked about it week to week. I like that it released week to week. I like The week-to-week cadence, I feel, is more interesting. It kind of spreads out our very short attention spans. Whether if it dumps, you watch it in over 2 days. You're very excited for 3 additional days, and then you're kind of done.
Yeah, it gives you more time to process it.
Yeah. I thought this was a very good movie. I thought between this and Rings of Power, because they both came out, I think, roughly the same time. Beforehand, I was very excited about Rings of Power, and I was not that interested in this because of the way season 8 of Game of Thrones ended. It was such bad taste that this may not be any good. I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan, so I was very excited for that. And then it turned out completely the opposite. This show kind of kept my attention almost from episode 1, and Rings of Power lost my attention from episode 1.
I agree with everything you said. I'm not even a fantasy Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones guy.
Yeah.
But I gave this one a shot, and it is a very amazing season, and I look forward to more.
This was my prediction on our crossover, by the way. So
Okay.
What's your number 3?
My number 3 is Extraordinary Attorney Woo.
Oh, yes.
Netflix.
Extraordinary Attorney.
And we did a review, a quick segment on it, so you can check that out. But probably my first Korean drama, but I really enjoyed this because it was just a fun watch. It was cute. The acting was fun. The whole story, it's episodic in the sense that she has a different case every episode to solve, and so it's not just focused on romance. It has something that I enjoyed. So I binge watched this when I got COVID. So, but I just started because someone recommended it to me. But I felt like unlike I've seen a few other Korean dramas. It's just different. The other Korean dramas, they stare into each other's eyes for 15 minutes with the same music playing, and you're thinking this show could be 10 episodes shorter. But this one is actually more efficient at 10 episodes, and it tells a very nice story.
Good. Extraordinary Attorney Woo. All right, top 2 now. My second, I think maybe a crossover for you, is Orville season 3.
Ooh, you know what? It should have made my honorable mentions.
Yes. I thought Strange New Worlds being on your honorable mentions meant that this was on your list. But Orville season 3 was very good sci-fi.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I regret not putting it on. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm surprised. Yeah. It was just good. I think we talked about it in our review as well. Seth MacFarlane seems to have dialed into what he wants the show to be, what stories he wants to tell, and the characters and how they develop. And he's kind of either willingly or been asked to kind of step back a little bit as kind of the main focal point. It's definitely more of an ensemble, but they're telling good sci-fi where the best sci-fi isn't really about sci-fi. It's an allegory, it's an analogy to talk about societal issues and that kind of stuff. And I thought this was done very, very well.
I just simply forgot about it. It should have, beat Strange New Worlds in my opinion.
Yeah,
I just think that it's like a completely different show than the first 2 seasons.
Yeah.
And I gave it a shot, and it was a rather amazing season.
Yeah.
Like every episode was compelling. They told stories that and talked about issues in a very respectful way. And I think it was I really hope they have a season 4 because I just felt like it just got started now. So we'll see.
Well, I mean, as we said in the thing, even if they don't get a season 4, I hope that universe, that world still exists, and they can spin something else off that. What's your number 2?
Well, we talked about already, House of Dragon.
House of Dragon, yeah. So there's the one crossover, and then that means my prediction was wrong. We do not have 2 crossovers because my number 1 is Severance, which was on your honorable mention. I thought that was the most interesting and creative show. There's a huge mystery about the show. The basic premise is there's this special place that when these people go to work, they're innies when they're at work in this underground office. They don't have any memories of their outies when they're out in the outside world. And the outside world version of them don't know the inside world of them. There's a mystery of what this company does, who these people are, how they relate to each other outside, how they relate to each other inside. It's, very, very compelling television.
I did think about putting my top 5. The only hesitation was that I would like to see, probably like season 2, how it would go, and then see a little bit more of the world.
Sure.
But of course, Ben Stiller does the directing.
Yes.
Again, comedian doing a very serious kind of show, and the timing is very good. The acting is good, and it's a lot of elements of fun, and it's got that dystopian feel to it.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting you talk about season 2 and kind of how it'll kind of progress. it's for me. It definitely has that first season of Lost. Kind of mystery and kind of gripping. I want to find out more, and I hope it ends a little bit better.
But then that's what I'm afraid of.
Yeah,
is it becomes Lost, where seasons 3 and 7 and then what is 5, they go all over the place.
But season 1 in isolation is the top. Oh, I just remembered one honorable mention. Oof, it's another comedy. Only Murders in the Building.
I thought that was going to make.
I just forgot about that actually. Would it bump any of these off? No, let's say honorable mention for that.
Okay.
Honorable mention. All right. Your top TV show of 2022.
It's got to be For All Mankind season 3.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Yes, that would be your sci-fi entry.
Sci-fi entry.
Yeah, sci-fi. Yeah.
It's alternate history. You guys look it up on Apple Plus. It doesn't get a lot of traction from a lot of people. Most people I talk to have never even seen it. But to me, it's very underrated. Like the show, from production to acting to the way the story progresses to its take on modern and past history is fascinating. It's just a stellar show. I really, really dig this show. Yeah,
I know you've been kind of going on about this show. You convinced our usually guest panelist Rob to watch it, and he raves about it as well. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll put it on my list to watch. Shows are so hard to watch. There's so much now. We're 3
this
seasons.
This one captures. It's just very inventive.
Okay.
You know, every season they jump 10 years.
Right. Yeah, and I actually do like historical fiction and that kind of stuff. Yeah. So the genre really works for me. I know if I ever get into it, I will really like this show.
Yep.
So For All Mankind is your number 1. Severance is my number 1. Anything else to close our top shows of 2022?
No, I think there's a lot of good shows. I didn't even mention stuff like that everybody's watching, like Cobra Kai or Stranger Things or Wednesday.
Yeah,
all good shows, but I think I was looking at. I really enjoy the shows that are a little bit, I don't know, less mainstream, I guess. Yeah.
I didn't watch any of those shows either. Yeah, again, I've been watching more movies than shows. So that's it for this episode of Best Shows of 2022. Have you seen these shows? Are there shows that we missed that should definitely be on these lists? Are there shows that are on this list that you think should be in dishonorable mentions? Let us know in the comments. And until next episode, keep watching things. That's how we normally end.
Yes, just keep watching things.
Yeah, and you're supposed to say.
Yeah, I'm supposed to say like and subscribe to this channel. I'm not sure it's working, but please do. Spread the word. I hope this has been helpful for people if they're looking for things to watch.
Yes.